Welcome to my Blossom Hinesight channel. I was going to call this one, Are Black People Supposed to Survive This Pandemic? And I thought, that's a bit too dramatic. So then how about, I'm black, I'm over age 50, I have one pre-existing condition. Am I supposed to survive this pandemic? And I thought, well, that is a little bit enough. So I'm simply calling this one 5 things that you can do to pay attention to your health, especially when you're over the age of 50. In the example that I'm showing you here, I have ordered a blood pressure monitor, a standard one, very inexpensive, got it from Amazon. It came fully contained in its own carry-all bag, a very small, lightweight monitor. It's digital, so it has a speaker on the side. It has a port for the blood pressure cuff, and it can also be plugged in and charged. And I believe it came with batteries, but it can be plugged in and charged from your laptop or directly from a wall outlet. So it comes with its own charger. The booklet is very simple and easy to use. When you first get your monitor, it will walk you through how to set up the monitor, and you can set it up so that when it reads the blood pressure reading to you, it will state it, it will read it to you, it will play music, and it will give you your blood pressure reading, or you can just adjust it for silence, so you just read the blood pressure, so you just read it digitally. The cuff is very lightweight, nylon and velcro. It can be adjusted to suit most arm sizes, and there are instructions on the cuff on how to place it onto your arm. And as you see that I'm demonstrating how to adjust the cuff, keep that grey tubing on the inside of your arm. I'm showing you that it's a simple velcro pull on, pull off. Key thing here is that when you are using this cuff, don't make it too tight like I did the first time that I used it. Make sure that you can put at least 2 fingers between your arm and that cuff. Otherwise, if you adjust it too tight before it starts to take the reading, it actually may make your hand numb. Keep that grey tubing on the inside against a main artery. And most times when you're using your blood pressure monitor, you're going to keep your arm down. I just have it up in this position because I'm trying to demonstrate. So you can take the tube and insert it into the monitor. It's a very simple process. Once you have that in there, you will relax for a number of seconds, because you're taking, once you have inserted it into the machine, before you switch it on, I would recommend you relax for a couple of seconds, because you're not only taking your blood pressure, but you're also taking your heart rate, and you want to have that as low as possible. Press the on button in this machine, or whichever machine you decide to purchase. Take your reading and monitor your blood pressure on a daily or weekly basis. I will suggest that you try to do that first thing in the morning, so that your heart rate is not elevated, and that you can get a reasonable blood pressure reading. And that's one of the ways that you can pay attention to your health, especially after the age of 50. According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, the stats say that 50% of people in the Black community, ages between 35 and 64, are more likely to have high blood pressure than any other group, and twice as likely to die from heart disease than whites. So why not invest in something as basic as a blood pressure monitor? Another way to pay attention to your health is to invest in a digital scale. In this example, this one came well packaged. It's very lightweight. It has a sleek design. It's made of tempered glass, not too thick, not too thin. And there are sensors on the top of the scale, which you will download the app and sync to your phone. On the back, there are the foot pads. When you're using a digital scale, it's important that you use it on a flat surface and not carpet, so you can get an accurate reading. In the center, I'm just demonstrating here that I believe it came with batteries, but I put my own in. I was replacing them, I think. And keep in mind, if you're buying a scale similar to this one, you want to put the batteries in. It needs 3 batteries. Make sure you put the batteries on either side first and put the middle battery in last. Just a quick tip for you. So this is a digital scale. The instruction booklet is there. You'll sync it, the app for the scale, into your phone. It's a great investment because it not only gives you your weight, but it also tells you things like your the amount of water in your body, how much fat you have around your organs, how much fat you have around your underneath your skin, tells you your water weight, and other readings that if you research on these things, it will really give you a great way of paying attention to your health. Here's a demonstration of what the scale looks like. This is Miss Z who wanted to demonstrate. This is the scale syncing to the phone, and then once you have done that, you can get all the readings that I just mentioned. Another way of paying attention to your health is through diet. Become your own chef. You know, those of us in the Black community between the ages of 35 to 49 and between the ages of 50 and 60, which is my age group, are more likely to die at early ages from such things as high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes, and obesity. And diet is at the center of those illnesses. So why not become your own chef when it comes to paying attention to your health? Most of us have been home for months now, and this has given us the opportunity to, you know, cook more for ourselves. In this example, I'm showing you a simple meal that I am preparing. A lot of green-based veggies, and also some seasoned salmon that I'm going to cook. Got my pots ready. Cooking with some basic oils, flaxseed oil, butter, olive oil. Those are the kind of oils that I am using. And just starting from scratch and cooking, and here's the finished result. So what you're seeing there is the salmon sauteing in butter. I have this is the end result of the veggies. So I have a spinach, kale, red onion, garlic, celery mix that I stir fried and then added some brown basmati rice. Here's the end result with the stir fry rice, the salmon, and a side of avocado. And this is just my example of what I eat as I'm paying attention to my health. But you know, I would say, especially when it comes to diet, let's cut down on the processed foods. Eat the best quality for your budget. Cook at home as much as possible, and try things like one meal a day, calorie counting, fasting. If you're not familiar with them, then just go onto YouTube. There's lots and lots of videos on those things. I've done a video called Rice and Peas Sunday, and that was just looking at the whole cultural idea of how we used to eat back in the days when our parents cooked food for us. Let's get back to that cooking at home and cooking for the family kind of vibe. And moving right along, another way that we can pay attention to our health is to become our own gym coach. Why not? We have a lot of time on our hands now. So why not pay attention to our physical health? Now, being 50 years and over, it doesn't mean we can't try to reduce the obesity level in our community. Those of us who are aged 50 to 64 in the Black community, nearly half of us are obese. Now, is that not reason enough to pay attention to our health? So why not become our own gym coach? In fact, this video was taken from one that I did called F the Gym, and it was just a way of focusing on health, but just pointing out that not all the time do I feel like working out and focusing on fitness. But I know that being over 50 years old, that I do have to take my health a lot more seriously than I did when I was younger. Not all the time do some of us want to focus on fitness, but sometimes it's a mental challenge. And I think that during these, and that was a video that I did pre-COVID. I think that in these post-COVID times, staying healthy and paying attention to our health has become much more on the forefront. Wouldn't you agree? So moving right along, I think this is the fifth way. So this will be the fifth and final way to pay attention to our health. Find ways to improve our mental health. I've done a few videos on mental health, but in one video in particular called Are You Mentally Healthy? I said the following. Are you mentally healthy? You know, some of the things that we are seeing in our society today that impact negatively upon all of us, the root of a lot of them are mental health issues not being addressed. We can't live in a society that's so out of balance and not check ourselves to see to what degree are we being impacted. And with that said, hasn't this pandemic thrown us more out of balance? What, job losses, loss of businesses, lack of good health coverage, family stress, stressing over our health. And on top of all of that, the stats show that in the Black community, we are either getting the sickest from this virus or we're dying in higher numbers from this virus. So how does all of that really impact upon our mental health? I mean, we have to find positive ways to improve our mental health. Pay attention to your mind because we're not invincible. After 400 plus years of mental and emotional abuse, we are weary. This pandemic is another stressor that impacts upon our mental health. We deserve to be mentally healthy above all things. So these are 5 things that you can do to pay attention to your health. But it is troubling to experience this pandemic in this middle-aged stage of life, especially when it seems that the odds are stacked against me. And middle age is really telling me to not take my health for granted. These are some of the things that I am doing and that I feel empowered by in my day-to-day life. So I hope that you may also pay attention to your health and feel the same way. Please like, share and comment on this video, especially if you are over the age of 50, you have someone in your life who is around that age and you think that the ideas I've put forward will be of benefit to them. So, as always, I thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope that my hindsight has and will inspire you and that you will find your own way to blossom. Thank you. Bye-bye.